Captain Australia. I am wearing my high-vis wet weather uniform at the moment because I haven't been wearing anything but the military Santa version. So I thought I'd throw this on just for a change. So I'm in a cabin in Foster Tuncurry, and I thought I'd stream up and say g'day and talk about what's going on and what's happening next. I got on the radio for a bit today, so I'm expecting there might be some new people buzzing in and checking out the Facebook page. So firstly, a quick rundown. My name is Simon. I'm an old fella. I live in Brisbane. When I was young, I went on a big walk from Brisbane to Sydney. I didn't get all the way to Sydney. I got to Gloucester, which is about 100k outside, and that was to escape a bad domestic situation, and it was time of hope and healing. And much later in life, I got hit with a stage 4 cancer, and I couldn't bounce back from it. It's a disease not just of the body, but also of the mind and the spirit. So I had 6 months to live. I had a 40 to 60% chance that chemoradiation could save my life, and I got lucky, but I slipped into a state of existential crisis, and I wasn't coming back. And I realized about 4 years into my overtime, my time of survival, that I was just waiting to die, and I was underperforming in every area of my life that mattered to me, especially being a dad. So I realized I needed to find hope, and I remembered the walk that I took as a child, so I decided to take another big walk, and that's where it began. So since that, I started walking every single day since then, but I realized if I was going to do a walk, I could declare it to the world, and I could superhero up for science, judo chop, you know what I mean, and support a charity. So all of this gear, that's for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project, and it's about drumming up support and awareness and making a very sad topic of conversation maybe a bit more approachable, you know. So you might have seen in a post today this lovely little boy facing up to pediatric cancer, and he wished me well and he thanked me for what I'm doing, and that puts a concrete face on it. So that's what pediatric cancer looks like, and I can tell you firsthand about the suffering cancer inflicts and its side effects, and the ultimate fundamental thing is that no child should have to go through that. So it's Captain Australia's big walk, and it's for the Kids Cancer Project, and it started out just for me and personal healing. So I've been walking down, I've taken the long, windy road, and I'm very grateful that I did. So there were periods in there where I was just thinking, I need to get back to my family, I need to get back to my family, am I crazy, what have I committed to, I need to get back to my family, and just power down the motorway and get it all done as soon as I could. But that was unwise. That was like the voice of panic and sadness and problems, not the voice of the solutions, you know. The wiser part of me knew, and the people who gave me advice also said, take the road less traveled, have an adventure, and that's what I've been doing. So, there's been so many lovely moments. I met a lady, Jo, in Ballina, who, she became like Alfred to my Batman, you know what I mean? So, she'd be there on her computer giving me advice about where to go, and coming out of Ballina, it was just so much fun. She's like, yep, go down there, okay, thanks, Jo. Turn left, okay, Jo, thanks. Turn right, yeah, got it, Jo. Turn left again, are you sure, Jo? It's not actually a road, Jo, turn left, go on. And I kept following her directions. I wound up in the middle of a cow paddock, you know, river on the right, swamp on the left. It was just, and it was such a joy. It was like a Huckleberry Finn adventure, and I just had to follow a fence line, head to the southwest where I knew I would eventually intersect with a road, go through some like foresty, almost rainforesty country, and a couple of cow paddocks, and I loved it. And I was carrying this tremendously heavy pack. I had to jump fences with the pack. A year ago, the idea of me doing that is absurd. You see, cancer destroyed my thyroid, and I piled on a massive amount of weight. I was 140 kilos in December last year. And all the walking and all of the work, it's healing me physically, but it's also healing me spiritually, psychologically, ethically, in all of those dimensions that make a human being better. And that's why I also feel that it's so important to share the story, because I'm able to show you concretely in a absolute way that a broken life can be fixed. And my life wasn't, I mean, I was edge of a cliff broken. And I know I look mental now, like, ooh, it's Captain Australia, Judo Chop. But I am so sound and so strong. In fact, by stripping back and doing this pilgrimage, I've been able to release grief that I've carried around inside me for years, and pain. I've walked down the beach, the sun shining through the clouds, and I've just been weeping, letting go of things that I no longer need. And that fills me up with positives. And that is something that I think maybe you or somebody in your life might benefit from seeing. It's even if it's just a simple story about hope. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm about. And now, fundamentally, the biggest and most important corner of what I'm doing is support of the charity. The volume's low. Oh, let me... Good. Beep, 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 beep. According to this, it's all maxed out. I don't know, maybe, can you hear me any better? I'm so sorry if I've been here like, you can't hear me. I hope you can hear me a little bit better. I'll raise my voice as well. But yeah, the fundamental now is for the charity, the Kids Cancer Project. You know, I'm still working on myself as I travel, but I've just had so much kindness, human decency, just great examples of human beings that I've had the privilege of meeting, and you know, that's nourishment. I'm just getting all kinds of better and learning who I want to be in this next later phase of my life as well. So the fundamental now is just helping the charity. And I'm an old buffet, I'm not great with social media and all of the rest. So if you've joined and you find it interesting, please remember, if you can share, if you can spread the story around, you will be helping a fantastic charity. The Kids Cancer Project is a charity about resolving pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. So pediatric cancer is a particular set of cancers that generally only attack children. Okay, so the average age of sufferers is 6, usually ranges from like 3 to 15, but the average age is 6. There's 950 Aussie children every year diagnosed. 20% of them do not survive. That's 3 children every week dying. Every week. Average age 6, okay? And yeah, the ones that survive, they deal with the same sort of chronic physical and mental health issues, and the wider ramifications for their family as well and their parents. So it's a massively worthy cause. It's about bringing those numbers down. And as I walk, I find myself saying to myself, if it saves just one life, because the money of it, the numbers, and it's over my head, but if it saves just one life, then that number, that 950 becomes 949. And it's not just that one life this year, but it's future unborn children. Every year the number's lower. Yeah? So, you know, if you decide to donate or support the charity, it is an absolutely worthy charity, and good karma will follow in your footsteps. So for the new people who are checking it out, that's it. That's the spiel. That's who I am. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm doing. Do I think I'm Batman? No. Am I mental? No, maybe a little, you know. I'll say no, and when I get to Melbourne and I fall to my knees and I kiss the ground at Federation Square like a Pope getting off an aeroplane, and then I go back to being a normal guy doing normal things, we're just going to quietly accept that I'm not mental. And no, I don't think I'm Batman, and I'm not about crime fighting or any of that sort of stuff. So the idea is superhero up for science. And that's what the charity's all about. It's the science behind better treatments and more successful treatments for pediatric cancer. And that's something you can do too. And you can super villain up for science. Now, there's not much pink left in my beard. Little bits of pink. I don't want a pink beard. I haven't always had a pink beard. But someone gave me a daily donor dare of doom. What's that? That's where you get to super villain up for science, and I have to do whatever is. It can be mean to me, but it can't be mean to other people. Yeah, can't really be criminal or put me too much in harm's way. But aside from that, it's all in good fun. So, pink beard, ribbon in my beard. I had to do a crab walk. I had to demand a free beer because I'm a superhero. There's been a bunch of them. So if you do donate and you're so inclined to dangle me like a puppet under your strings, just go for it. Do a daily donor dare of doom as well. Be inventive. But yeah, so I am currently in Foster Tuncurry. I have a bed. I normally sleep rough, so I have a kit over there with like a solar array, solar batteries, a hammock and a tarp. But one of the things that I did not expect in this quest, and that I'm still adapting to, is the amount of kindness that I'm finding out in the world. Like just the sheer human beauty that I've found just shining in my direction. And from its people coming and giving me water on a hot day and saying, mate, you look thirsty. Or this farmer who gets off his tractor and says, come on mate, you look like you need a cup of tea. Sit on his porch and have a cup of tea, and then when it's time to move on, I'm like, all right, thank you so much. And they're like, what, you're not staying? And they give me a bed for the night. So this is day 27, and I've probably slept rough for about 18 of those days. But that means there's been 9 days where people like Jai and Jules at Woolgoolga, so Quentin and Taffy near Grafton, Kim at what is it? Not Old Bar. Where was she? I can't remember the name of the suburb. But people have just given me a bed, and it's wonderful. And there's the guys at Coffs Harbour, the Chelsea Motor Inn at Coffs Harbour. They gave me accommodation, and that was just free. And they said, we're not charging you, you bloody legend. And that's just so lovely. So I didn't expect any of that stuff, and I'm still adapting to it and overwhelmed by it, and it's just lovely. So you get to see that as well, we can sort of have a little bit of faith in the beautiful people and the beautiful world around us. But yeah, I am in Foster Tuncurry and I have a bed, and that's great. And I've been able to get a couple of little cards. I have to do a birthday card for my middle son, Sully. I'm going to miss his birthday, sadly, so I want to send him a nice little present and a card that just says his dad loves him, he's proud of him. And I got a request for an autograph from another kid. So I've got another little thank you card, and I've said from Captain Australia, and I'm sending that to their family as well. I don't know what do you want with an autograph from Captain Australia for? I just got a message from my wife that says Chrissy has just bought us Macca's for dinner. Oh, so someone back in my hometown is now showing kindness to my family. So there's a friend of the family who's taken them out to Macca's, and the kids have all had like cheeseburgers and all of that in the plate. And yeah, so I'm in Foster Tuncurry, and tomorrow I set out for Newcastle. I want to kind of get into the flow of that, push it through as effectively as I can, because I think I'll be going through a bit of remote country, and I'll get to do a bit more rough sleeping. I made a really bad error with my rough sleep last night, so I got a little bit drunk at the Blackhead Bowling Club, and I went walking under the stars in the dark, getting a bit late. It started to rain, so I realised I needed to pitch a camp. It's all a little dangerous because you can't see what you're stepping on, and the main thing, it's not so much snakes, maybe leeches, ticks and all that, but the main hazard is tripping. You've got all this undergrowth, and if you trip on it, you can just come down hard and break something, or you can land on a sharp spike like a branch and puncture something, which would be even more profoundly worse. So, a little bit mild risk, but I was successful. I set up a camp in the dark, but I made a horrible mistake, and I didn't choose any kind of a windbreak. So I had just this cold ocean air coming in and just running right up the crack of my bum at 3 in the morning, and it was just too uncomfortable. So I successfully packed up my camp at 3 in the morning in the dark. So I'm getting a lot better at all of that stuff, to be honest. And then I just went walking down the beach, but it left me a little bit flogged when I got here. So now I get to rest and catch up, and the next few days are going to be rough sleeps on the way to Newcastle. I think it's going to be lovely, going to see some beautiful country and beautiful beach, which I will share with you. And when I get to Newcastle, I'll be a hop, skip and a jump away from Sydney, which is, for me, it's the spiritual halfway point, whether it's the practical halfway point or not. And yeah, it's marvellous. So that's it. That's the spiel. Needed to give you all of that because I think there's new people coming in and checking it out. So I hope it all makes sense. When I walk around, I normally have this big samurai flag over my shoulders. This is the high-vis version of the uniform. So this stuff shines in the dark. This stuff shines in the dark. I had 4 versions of the uniform. I had to dump 2 of them off. Well, not dump, but send them home because it was just too heavy in the bag. Bag weighs about 20 kilo or more. Now I'm just going to have a look at some comments. Let's go right back and, sorry, look at all the comments that I have ignored. The sound is better when I'm closer. Sorry about that. Everybody needs a bit of Captain Australia in their life. Why does that make me think of a song? Little bit of Captain in your life, a little bit of Captain in your life. I almost said a little bit of Captain in your wife then. That's like, I'm not a, it's like a, what's that? Don Juan, I don't know. That's a mess. Maybe the mask blocking sound. Well, I got these earbuds in that are meant to, yeah, I don't know, maybe. Let's just loosen this gear up and be a bit normal for once, Simon, eh? Ooh. So this is what the fella underneath looks like. Oh dear. Glasses on. Superman to Clark Kent, eh? I don't know if that sounds much better. I hope you're having a good rest tonight, says Diane. Thank you, Diane. I will rest marvelously. I've fallen asleep 3 or 4 times today doing laundry and stuff, but I'm trying to stay awake, and I hope to get a really good solid sleep tonight. Your sharing of strategies as you move through different environments of healing is so good. Well, that's lovely. And I do think, I actually personally think if you have grief or pain or some hardship in your life, it's not about any specific strategy. It's about 2 things. It's firstly the hope. You have to have an underlying hope, a belief, like a belief in magic. You have to believe absolutely in your bones that positive change is available to you. So hope is the fuel. And secondary to that, it's not a particular strategy. It is then the consistently and diligently trying and continuing to try. Not you make mistakes, you turn those mistakes into lessons. So for each of us, the solution will look different. For some people, the problem is different. It might be AA. You might be getting over an addiction, you know what I mean? Or you might have mental health issues that you're trying to deal with. Or like me, I'm sure I was clinically depressed and I still deal with a bunch of physical issues. I just now they don't bother me. I get these neck cramps and have pain, but I'm fine. It's nothing. It's no worries. But yeah, it's not so much about the particular strategy. My strategy won't fit you. Or you could try it. Dress up like a superhero. Come walking with me. Somebody, come on, join. We need to get a little hordes. Not sidekicks, super friends. Let's get it going. Come on, jump on board. But my solution might not fit you. But if you diligently keep trying one thing after the other, and you do it in the hope of ultimate success and the belief that you can succeed, inevitably there's a better chance you eventually will. More comments. Kelso says, I look forward to your posts and lives. I wait for you to come online. It's like, okay, where's Captain at the moment? You give me hope. I'm in isolation as I'm immunocompromised. Oh, mate, I didn't realize you were immunocompromised. It's great to be your friend. Kelso, mate, when I see your lovely comments, they lift me up, buddy. I think of you as a friend as well, mate. You're like a little angel on my shoulder. All of you, you've all adopted me or something. We're some weird family on this walk together, mate. I'm delighted, and thank you for your kind comment, Kelso, mate. That's lovely. Let's see. Jan says, my son was one of those cancer kids at age 3. Would love to meet you. He's now 21. That is fucking awesome. Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to swear, and I got a... He pediatric cancer at age 3, and he's 21 now. That's wonderful. I'm delighted. That's great. Sorry, I don't know where you are, Jan, or where your son is, but if I pass through your town, love to. Love to. We'll have a coffee and a chat. I keep meeting these awesome people, like Desi today. 18-year-old kid. He's done nursing diplomas and all kinds of stuff, trying to move his life forward. Great kid. Not a kid, like young man. Sue Foley says, you are awesome. You can kiss the ground in Melbourne. You will no doubt be sharing your wisdom with others when you get back. Oh, wisdom. That's a bit generous, Sue. I guess it's the outcome. If somebody takes something from it, then it is of value, I suppose. I don't know. Still, old dog new tricks. I've got to learn to take kind compliments. Thank you, Sue. Um, wish that kindness was spread in the community without having to superhero up. You might change that mindset for others as you travel. Well, I do think, and it's turning into like a weird evangelism of kindness, but I do keep having that conversation. And I think it does, like, I think it's a true thing, and I think that people hear it and understand it, because as a species, I think we're on the edge of a cliff. Like, we could very easily just mess up the whole game, whether it's climate or global warfare or whatever. But for me, the things that steer us as a species are actually subtle and quite spiritually meaningful. It comes down to good and evil. If we have hatred and xenophobia and an unwillingness to understand each other, those things spread and propagate. They inculcate in the people that we deal with the same feelings, which then spread to the people that they deal with. Okay, so our dealings with China, between China and Australia at the moment, they're filled with mutual distrust and xenophobia. They don't need to. We're all human beings. We're all one big tribe. And if we sit down and diligently work to better understand each other and our agendas, and find mutual outcomes, we move forward and we get better. But the hatred and the xenophobia just breeds more of that. So it brings our species into further risk. But kindness, and this is, I get it that it sounds loopy, but it is the ultimate survival tool for our species, because it propagates as well. We lift each other up, and it grows in the sharing and it spreads. So when you help me and lift me, and if I somehow say something with a touch of eloquence that then touches 3 other people, which they then spread onwards, and it ripples through our lives, and it makes it just that little bit better. Day to day, daily kindness. And if we practice that diligently in our lives, we get better. Our society gets better. We make better choices. Our leaders, instead of being mouthpieces, agenda-driven mouthpieces, become more authentic, because there's more truth in our dealings. Kindness is the antidote to suffering. Kindness allows us to have that platform of just decent human sharing. And I've seen it again and again and again in my walk. And it's directed at me because you're right, this weird superhero, the circumstance of it. But if we can practice that in our daily lives, it is how we make our world better. I sincerely believe that, and we can hide from each other and be afraid of each other, or we can lift each other up. And I've met so many people, so impressive, so decent and true. And I think we just need to all try and be like that. I'm not. You might think that I'm a wonderful, kind person, and you say it, and I keep going, oh, I don't know. I'm trying to learn to be. I've met, in the last 3 days, people who are much finer examples of the kind of person that I'd like to be. Like my mate Jock. He's been a servant to his community all his life, and just always trying to help and understand people. No judgment. None of that garbage stuff where we get into the politics of being human. We just kind of need to build consensus and understand each other. And sorry, that was an old man ramble. I did it again. Christ. Comments. Lynette, we are receiving so much back from you, Simon. Your inner wisdom is growing steadily, more so as your life unfolds on this journey. Hey, I hope you're right, Lynette. I hope I'm getting wiser. I might be going steadily more crazy. I guess it remains that we'll just see how it stands at the end of the trip, won't we? But Mum, thank you. Tracy says, oh, cancel, don't invite someone to join the stream. Tracy says, ha 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 ha. Because I'm slow with the comments, don't know what that was about, Tracy. Gail says, just be safe when sleeping rough, Captain. We all want you to reach your goal and get home to your family, and I want that as well. You can't have an adventure without risk. You can't have a quest without hazard. You know what I mean?
I've pulled a leech off my back. I haven't had any real close calls. I was sitting down next to a big sand snake at one point, not right next to, because I'm pretty vigilant with the snakes. But yeah, I was sitting down and just sort of having a big old rest, and I glanced over. I heard a little movement, glanced over, and there's a big coiled old snake there. See you later, mate. I'll move over here. You're going to move over there. We're friends. I'm a predator too. I know what you're about. You're a predator. You know what I'm about. Let's just mutually respect each other. And I got the hell out of there. Tracy says, I love walking, but definitely not in your league. Oh, mate, I'm not. Yeah. What I do is more about stubbornness than athleticism and skill, mate. Desmond Wilson. If you ever get the honor to meet this awesome bloke, have a chat with him. I love meeting people. Love your work. Thank you, Desmond. I love meeting people on the road. And seriously, if you are at all shy about saying hi because you think I might be dangerous or weird, give it a crack. And if you're just shy, give it a crack. I'd love to have a chat. Sit down, we'll have a cup of coffee or a glass of lemonade and share stories. It's giving me so much in this journey. And if you want to hear my story, I'm delighted to share it. Tracy says, I swear a lot for 55, lol. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop it because I'm aware sometimes there are kids watching. I've made a few little mates just in this past week. And Archer, if you're watching, buddy, what a joy to know you. Um, let's see, more comments. Great volume now. Good, 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 all good. The swearing, yeah, I'm sorry. Brett says, you're an inspiration, mate. Walk hard for the kids. Well, yeah, I will. If this is day 27, um, probably means I've got, I guess, maybe 50 days left, maybe something like that. So I've still got a lot of work to put in, and the toil of it's fundamental. So the fact that my bag is heavy in the first couple of weeks, I sucked about that, and I made mistakes. I packed a wrench, a 1 kilo big wrench. Why? I thought I might want to tamper with taps to get water if they're, in the back of the shops. And then this guy I meet on the road gives me a universal tap head that weighs a fraction of it. Um, I just made bad choices, but I sucked, you know. So when carrying the extra weight, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I had to surrender some of that weight and move forward. But now, the bag now, when I load it up with water and whatever, it's easily as heavy or heavier than it was at the start of the walk. But I am so much stronger, you know? And so by the time I get to the end, when I put the bag aside and just go into my normal life, just the strength of that. And there's something about casting burdens aside that I think it does. It just makes you more powerful. So have a good sleep. Thank you. I hope you get a great sleep. Catch up tomorrow. Yeah, cheers, Tracy. I'm going to sleep so well. So that's my bedroom. Um, you are an inspiration to us all. Superman has nothing on Captain Australia. Oh dear. If I was having a conversation with this lovely guy, military guy named Wayne. I met him the other day at or near a place called Saltwater Lake, or I think it was something like that. But this guy, so he's a military reservist. He's been deployed in Malaysia, a rifleman and a machine gunner. Lovely bloke, salt of the earth bloke, just strong, true Aussie, just integrity, honesty, lovely bloke, no doubt about it. Only knew him for a short time, but no doubt in my mind and heart, this is a great guy. And we had a lot of talks about that, like if you were Superman, what would the world look like? Because you'd have the power to change the world. And for me, I would do all of the good deeds. I'd save the kittens from the trees, save people from the burning buildings, all of that stuff. But I'd also be snapping necks, you know? And I think it's righteous. I think I'm doing the right thing, and that would make it so dangerous. So Captain Australia, Superman got nothing on Captain Australia. No, mate, you do not want me as Superman because I mean, it'd be the kids would be like, oh, he's saving a kitten. Yeah, mummy, look at Super Duper Man. But then, oh, what's he doing? Oh no, there's that pedophile released on a technicality. What's he doing, mummy? Snap, you know? Or there's footage of him zipping around the Taliban and snap, snap, snap. you know? And that's the thing, I guess, in my own mind, there's people who can't come back. You do something that's too fundamentally evil, you just can't come back. So you need a good neck snapping. And that's probably a completely ignorant part of me, but it's how I feel. And I want to be honest, even about the ugly bits. So yeah, you don't want me as Superman. Thankfully, I'm defined not by my powers, but by my weaknesses. Or perhaps by how I find ways to try and rise above them. But yeah, Superman, you don't want me. No. We'll get somebody with a better and higher level of human ethics, I think. Actually, it was an alien, though. He wasn't human. Yes, Wayne is our friend and an amazing bloke. Oh yeah, Jenny, good on you. So if Wayne is your friend, you are blessed in his friendship. I was so sorry about it. He told me about his best mate, his dog called Neo. Not because his dog lives in the Matrix. Yeah, it's a pretty like it's chocolate vanilla strawberry. He's got pretty colors like Neapolitan ice cream, and his dog's really sick, and it's a very sad story, and may not survive much longer. So if you're friends of Wayne, make sure you check in on him over the coming weeks just in case he's lost his dog. But Neo, yeah, there was a clear love for that dog, and there's nothing like a loyal dog. A dog's love is it's simple and it's pure and it sort of lifts you up. It's not as complex as a human love, and in a way, um, I couldn't even contrast it. Matt met you today. Okay, Matt. Oh, yeah, so he's a friend of Wayne's as well. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I keep meeting lovely people, um, all outstanding people, really, and it's such a blessing. And what was I saying? I don't know. Ramble on about Superman. Um, yeah. So yeah, I've told you who I am, what I'm about, where I'm going next, and the long term. There's still like we're barely a third of the way in, so there's still a lot to go with this big walk, and hopefully there'll be new discoveries as well. I don't just mean places, I mean inner places. Um, Melanie says, "Go well, legend. You're not." Oops. Oh dear. Now I've missed a bunch of comments that went whizzing past. Sorry. Margaret says, "How's your dog and neighbour going? Has anything happened?" No, that's fine. I overreacted. It'll be months before anything. They won't. What bothered me most was that she threatened to have the dog. Because she's an old woman. I know who it is. We've actually helped her a few times, like driven her to the shops and stuff. And she could actually go to the front door, and instead of like just talking amicably about the problem, and the dog might be, I felt guilty because the dog might be barking because I'm absent too. He might be stressed out by that. That breaks my heart a little bit. So, but no, I overreacted. But the fact that she could say, if you don't fix it, I'll have to write counsel and they will have your dog destroyed. It's got a big element of bullshit to it and a bluff, you know what I mean? And B, it's just a cruel and nasty approach. So I was really just shocked and upset by that. But it's nothing's going to happen. Solve that when I get home. What's the most humbling moment on your journey so far? Asks Tiz. That's a good question. Honestly, so I've had some profoundly spiritual moments. I've had some profoundly personal moments. For me, the humbling thing, really, the thing that just makes me step back and I lose the vocabulary from people. So when people pull up and treat me as though I am worthy of that kindness, it absolutely humbles me because they see something in me that I don't. You know what I mean? And that it just moves me and it makes me feel part of a world, a larger and richer world. Yeah. And so it's hugely humbling and inspiring, and I'm very grateful for the kindness that I receive. Jenny asks, "Our boys have been through so much this last couple of weeks." Not asks, says, "Okay, Jenny, I'm sorry, mate." Melanie, "Go well, legend. You're not Superman, but you're super great. And Brett and I are so inspired by your greatness. We will donate to this worthy cause." Oh, thank you. The Kids Cancer Project, any dollar. It's saving young human lives. It's a wonderful charity. Sonia says, "G'day, Captain." Captain says, "G'day, Sonia." Hey, I asked you, Sonia, if you're still watching. You know that art you did. Would you have any interest in putting it into a T-shirt design? Because people might, we can do. There's these companies that do. They do the delivery of the shirts if you provide the designs, and they have just a base price, and then you'd mark it up by $10, and that goes to the charity. So I started to build a T-shirt store, but I am crap at the designs of them. But your designs were great, beautiful, and if we added a couple of funny sayings or words of wisdom to them, the T-shirt, they would look great on a shirt. So if you had an interest in doing that, purely for the charity, send me a message. Um, Kelso, I'm looking after my daughter's dog. She's been with me for 6 months. She's my best friend. Her name's Lily. Beautiful, loyal, protective dog. Yeah, good dog. Every family should have a good dog, I reckon. Sonia says, I'm so pleased that you have those humbling moments and definitely worthy. Well, thank you. And we're catching up to the more recent comments. Oh, yes, that would be amazing. That would be an absolute honor. Okay, great. Oh, good, Sonia. Well, let's have a chat. Privately to figure out the details of it. But I did create like a basic shop. It was Captain Australia's Amazing T-Shirt Factory. And it was set up to do exactly that, mark up the t-shirts by $10 and every dollar flows onto the charity. So it's an alternative to donating. But your designs would look lovely, I reckon. They were just really cool. And it has this sort of retro funk kind of a feel to it. Like, to me, those designs looked a little bit disco, Sonia. So I love them. And maybe they'd be saleable and we could, make a bucket of money for the charity in lieu of the normal donations. And it is already all set up, but we just need some designs. Lynette says, don't forget to donate to Simon's Appeal. Dig deep, please. Ah, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. And yeah, well, watch this space. If Sonia is able to create a couple of designs for the t-shirts, we might see we might see Captain Australia in like it's sort of different strokes kind of. If you wouldn't remember any of those old shows from the 80s, but yeah, pretty nice art. Oh, definitely, definitely. I donated a few days ago. I was thinking of a dare, but when you're on a beach, build a lovely sandcastle for the kids. You mean just go up to random kids and build a? Oh, I guess as long as the parents knew who I was. Otherwise, wouldn't that be a bit scary? This shady looking dude comes up. Okay. Um, Hi Simon, I'm overwhelmed with you. Ah, Dawn, thank you. Kindness is the antidote, the slogan for the shirts. Remember, yeah, well, I see that as a fundamental truth. Kindness is the antidote to suffering. They're just little old truisms that I love. It's like and then there's the one from the Talmud that you save but one life and you save the world entire. Love that one as well. And that's about how kindness ripples and propagates. Um, Kelso says, no, no, just a sandcastle in honor of kids with cancer. Oh dear. Haven't built a sandcastle. So I really will be the world's biggest, oldest kid dressed up as a superhero building a sandcastle. Um, yeah, all right. Well, sorry, someone's trying to call me. I better give them a bell back. And I think it's a friend, I think, who might need to talk to a problem. Look, thank you so much. Truisms. Yep. There are the reason that there's all these old wives sayings and whatnot is because old wives were bloody wise. Um, do it, you can do it. Replying to Kelso. Okay, cool. Um, Sandcastle in honor of the kids with cats. No, yeah, I think that's more a dare for me. I'm supposed to build the bloody sandcastle. But yeah, all right. I'll take that on board. I'll add it to the list. Julia says it's cold here in Perth now, 39 at 5 p.m. Jeez. Is it a humid kind of a heat or dry heat like here? Because I found even at 27 and 28, the dry heat here was oppressive. I'm just used to the humidity up in Brisbane. Don't leave too early in the morning, Simon, says Lynette with an angry face. Look, mate. Okay, mum. I will only surrender. Oh, all right. I was going to say, I don't have to obey. I'm a big boy, but oh, all right. But no, I do want to get out reasonably early though. But I'll make sure I have a good sleep and I'll make sure to eat a breakfast. Is that fair? Eddie says, enjoy the cabin tonight, mate. No creepy crawlies. Yeah, yeah, that's, yeah, no idea how that is great. Yeah. And the access to a shower. Mm, joy. And it shows you how the things you just take for granted in your daily life. Thank you. Sleep well. Enjoy your kindness. Cheers, Margaret. All right. Well, I'm at risk of future and continued old man rambles, so I will say goodbye there. Captain Australia's Big Walk, Kids Cancer Project, all of that stuff that we've already gone through. Thank you for your interest. I see I've still got a bit of pink in the hair, but it hasn't quite washed out yet. Um, please don't dare me to dye my hair again. Somebody said they wanted to dare me to wear a mini skirt and all kinds of weird and humiliating stuff. We're going to have to attach like a scaling dollar donation to some. No, I'm on the hook. You supervillain up. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Gail says, good night, Captain. Sleep well. See you on FB tomorrow. Cheers, Gail. So thank you so much for your interest, everybody. Thank you for tolerating my old man rambles. Um, I'm very, very humbled and grateful, and I will continue to just try and do my best to share this odd quest with you. I think that I'm learning heaps, and I hope that in sharing that, it's just got even if it's got a little bit of value to one person, that delights me. So, all the best. Thank you for your interest, and if you've newly arrived after like a radio interview or whatever, welcome. Enjoy. Enjoy your stay at Captain Australia's Big Walk. Captain Australia's Big Walk. Good night.